Minister of Tourism Lindiwe Sisulu has briefed the media on present domestic and international tourism performance to date. The focus was on tourism performance post-COVID-19. SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa attended the briefing and joins us now. A very good afternoon to you, Mbalenhle. What else came out of that briefing?
Well, Nzinga, the minister did explain to those who were there that it seems as though the tourism industry is poised to recover and it's on its way to recovery. This is on the back of those COVID-19 related restrictions having been lifted. She's attributed this, and I quote, people were dying to travel during the various lockdowns. And when the restrictions were lifted, we saw a lot more domestic travel taking place. She's briefed the media saying that their research has shown that South Africans are spending around 2,000 rand per month to try and travel and go to those various destinations that they were dying to go to in between the various lockdowns.
Mbalenhle, there was an announcement about Brand South Africa as well.
Yes, indeed. Brand South Africa is an organization that is that really works around selling South Africa to the world, and it has now been announced that it will now fall under the Ministry of Tourism. This is an announcement that was made during the briefing. She did now also announce that there is an interim board that has been appointed, but could not really divulge too many details surrounding the board, given that they still need to present the board to Parliament, and the announcement will be made thereafter.
Mbalenhle, we know that as the world opens up and as restrictions in South Africa opens up, of course, we're going to get more tourists, which is what also she was speaking about then. Was there any points about the challenges that people may have faced before coming into South Africa and ways of making it easier for people to access the country?
Well, she did talk about the conversations they're having with the aviation sector. I mean, we have seen a number of challenges with regards to, or concerns rather, raised by travelers and tourists around whether they will be able to reach their various destinations due to various cancellations that we've seen within the airline industry. She said that they are in conversation, and they said that they need to, they expressed the fact that there is a need to create some form of certainty around travel, and this would then stimulate travel and obviously stimulate business around the hospitality industry. These would be restaurants, hotels, and so on. She did talk about certain countries that are traveling the most to South Africa, and she pointed out that it seems as though a lot of the travelers are coming from in and around the continent, as well as Europe, international travelers, that is Europe, as well as the USA. She did point out to the fact that international travel is still remains a bit muted at this stage, but there are hopes that it will, or signs or indications that it will pick up with time.
And of course, tourism is not just about the international travelers, it's about us who live here in South Africa, taking a short left, taking holidays within our country. Was that spoken about at all?
Oh, yes, indeed. You will remember that I did mention the fact that the minister says that South Africans have started traveling in and around South Africa. This is after that the various lockdowns, saying that South Africans are actually setting aside money or spending as much as 2,000 rand in a month to travel and go to those various destinations. And you would see that, a lot of the travel does peak at during certain holidays on the calendar, like the Easter holiday, Valentine's Day, and so on. So it seems as though they have seen an uptick in terms of domestic travel following that the COVID-related restrictions and the lifting of those COVID-related restrictions. But nevertheless, she did point out the fact that tourism hasn't quite picked up to the levels to before the COVID-19 pandemic, and there are hopes that it will do so, especially after the department that is meant, or the organization that is meant to sell South Africa, which is Brand South Africa, is also going to fall under her portfolio, and they'll be doing their best in terms of positioning South Africa as a holiday destination.
Mbalenhle Mthethwa giving us a wrap there of those announcements and that briefing by the Minister of Tourism, Lindiwe Sisulu. Thanks so much for that.